Well, thanks for coming back to NoobAquatics. Today is a different one. We are testing out some lighting. So on most of our aquariums we have commercial lighting, such as the Hygger lighting, and they are excellent lights for low to super low mid plants, and they do really good. Now the closer the light is to the aquarium, the better the plants that it'll grow. So if you have a one of these Hygger lights on a 10-gallon aquarium, it should grow plants pretty well. And we have a crypt in one of the 10 gallons in the back that is just growing like crazy, one of the brown crypts. But in my tank with the 75, it doesn't grow very good because of how far away it is from the bottom of the tank. So we have the 75-gallon linked one, which I'm gonna put a pause here. All right, so we have that one there for the 75-gallon, and the part that's reaching the bottom is pretty low. So what do we do? So in these aquariums here, you'll see here the 20 long up there. We are doing something different. We had decided to buy some LED floodlights that are rated at the same Kelvin as our actual aquarium lights up there. So we did that, but we bought 20-watt lights by a company called Miwat. They're rated at 50,000 hours, so if that's true, it should last us for a very long time. We have it set on a timer, so they run about a little over 8 hours a day on our aquariums, which is adequate enough for most plants, since we only have the low light to low light plants, or low to no light plants in our aquariums. But this is what they look like. So this is what we have here is the 20-watt LED floodlights by Miwat. We used to have the 10 watts on there, as you see here. These are the 10 watts. They're black. They come in a 5-pack. They work pretty good, but they just weren't bright enough for what we wanted for our plants. So that's why we went with the 20 watts. Now on this aquarium up here, I already got 2 of them installed. You'll see right here, one there, and it's set up on, I guess you could say a DIY aquarium lighting stand. All right, now this right here has wood here. All right, and that's where I'm going to install these, is on the bottom. You'll see here I have one installed already, and I'm going to install the other one right there. We have one for our 10-gallon aquarium here. I made another DIY frame right here that's in the wall. All right, and it holds just one 20-watt light for our 10-gallon aquarium. All right, so we have Java moss in there, and we have the pothos on the back. This pothos right here, we're hoping it's going to perk up a little bit more. As you can see, it's not gotten very big when you compare it to the pothos that's growing out of the 75 or the pothos that's growing out of the 40. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get this installed real quick. Alright, so what we got here is Gorilla 30-pound plus double-sided black tape. I've already cut the strip. I've already cut the strip for this one here. Alright. So what you have to do here is, whenever you take these out of the box, alright, you're going to need an Allen wrench. Alright, the Allen wrench is to loosen these up. These are pretty tight right here. Alright, once you get them loosened up, then you find the angle that you want them to be at. I like this to be all the way up. Why? Because these get pretty hot, so I want to keep it as far away from everything as possible that it can get hot. Alright. Now I don't tighten them down and get them in there like a lockjaw tight, I just tighten them down to where the lock washer is just compressed completely. Like I said, I already cut the double-sided tape to match. It's going to go right here on top. Get it on there good, and then rip that little plastic thing that's on there off. Alright, so we got that off there. I'm going to unravel this, straighten it out. We're going to get this installed. let's take a look and see what happens when they come on. Wow, that's pretty bright. So that should work for what we need. Let's readjust the lights so that they're facing in the right angle. Oh yeah, that's definitely bright enough in there. Look, it's brighter than my 800 lumen flashlight. Set the right angle right there. So yeah, so it even gets lighting all the way over there. Yeah, so that works out pretty good. So this is what we were looking for. The 10 watt light that we had previously, this little one right here, it was bright, but we could see some darkening once it got down to here. So we got the 20 watts, and as you can see, the 20 watts, there's not much darkening. So this is exactly what we're looking for here, where the light reaches all the way to the bottom, and it looks like it reaches all the way to the bottom even better down here. So yeah, so that's good. I will take a watch, and as you can see, we put in some plants in there that melted away. We got some nacris in there that melted away, and a bunch of Java fern that melted away, and we got some Java moss. Now the Java moss is still good and everything, but it hasn't actually grown any new tips, so we'll take a look to see what happens. We added in RO, some new things we did was add in RO water instead of our tap water, and we're adding in the new lights to try to get those to perk back up. So stay tuned for an update coming up here soon. Alright, so now it's been roughly 2 months since we ordered the LED lights, and these are the takeaways that I'm going to bring you from the LED floodlights. So this back here is not it. So let's take a look, and I'll explain what the takeaways are and how to make these work for your aquariums. Alright, so as you'll see here, this is one of our 10-gallon tanks. This is our shrimp tank. You'll see we have lots of plants in there. So the plants that we have are the pothos growing on the back. We have floating water sprite, floating plants on the top, Java moss, and then pearlweed. Now this light up here, this is a 20 watt LED floodlight. You can buy them on Amazon by about $5 to $10 each. Make sure you get one that has a plug-in already installed. We have it set up on a timer, as you'll see there. So auto timer for 8 hours exactly a day. Now this one here being 20 watts, what I've learned is that you have to have it a certain distance. So as you'll see here, all right, this right here is about 7 to 8 inches off of the tank. And that's the only way this 20 watt will work on the aquarium. When you get closer with the light, it starts to grow algae. So you want to try to avoid that. So the distance from the aquarium is very important if you add these LED floodlights as an aquarium light. Now, does it grow plants? Absolutely. So you'll see here, you can see the Java moss. It's shooting out these strings out to the top side. That's all new growth. All new growth back there. All new growth right there. All of this is new growth. All over here. All new growth. These roots, you'll see, shooting straight down. All new growth. Same thing back there. This pearlweed was only half this size. It's now shot straight up. All new growth. So do they work? Yes, absolutely. Now, why is it important on the distance? I'll explain why. So over here, these are two of our breeding tanks. All right, now we do more of a natural setting for our breeding tanks. We got some changes coming here in the future, and I will do a video of those changes once they've been completed. And I'll explain some of these other things here. So the lights there, even though we got lights at the top, these are not daytime lights. These are for moonlight only. And again, I'll explain that into a different video. But so up here, you'll see we have two. These are 10 watt lights. Why are these 10 watt lights? Because of the distance. The distance here is only about 5 inches. All right. Now, if you have one 20 watt light on there and you put it up way up here, it'll probably work. But we needed light to be spread all the way across the aquarium. So these LED floodlights are also set up on a timer. You'll see back there, this is a surge protector with a timer for only one side. So the green is the time side, and the orange is the always on. We tried 20-watt lights up there, and I'll show you what happens. So the 20-watt lights, do they grow plants? Absolutely. But if you can see here, right here on our Anacharis, there's a bunch of staghorn algae growing on it. All right, some of it, most of it's already died off because I did change the lights out, and we did cover the tanks for about 70, or did take the light off the tanks for 72 hours to kind of speed up the process. But you'll see all the leaves that are gone on the wisteria, they were all covered in staghorn algae. So they're now just now growing back. And what I'm going to have to do is that once they grow all the way back, I'm going to have to clip them right there at the roots. You'll see roots forming. Clip them right below the roots and then replant them so that they can grow again without that algae. All right, you'll see Red Lightning. He wants to get in the camera always. Here's a better picture of him. All right, now one of the cool parts is how well does it grow. So this right here, this is guppy grass. Okay, it started with a piece this big. I planted it. Now it's all the way up there. I have a piece all the way over here. You can't see it, but there's 4 pieces in the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4 growing right there. I have another little piece growing right here, which is kind of funny because that's, broke off and started its growth on its own. Same thing with these back here, which you can't see very well, but they're right there with the bacopa. Those are also pieces that just kind of broke off and did their own thing on their own. Down here, the same thing. We have the lights. The distance is exactly the same as up there. So we found out that 10-watt lights work best for if you're closer to the aquarium, but you still need to have some distance, at least 4 to 5 inches from the tank if you use 10-watt floodlights. And yes, they do grow plants very well. Now, all of our plants are low to low medium growing plants. They are not highlight plants. If you want to grow something with highlight, this may not work. But for the normal low to medium light plants, LED floodlights work amazingly. All right, so that's our progress. If anybody remembers, you'll see in the video previously how much there was no plants in here. And this is all the growth we got here in 2 months from these LED floodlights. Same thing up there. 2 months, LED floodlights. The only exception is this one plant right there. You'll see in the back, that is a African water fern or Bulbitis hindurili or something like that. I don't know. But that's the only exception. I just added that today. All right, so like I said, do LED floodlights that you can buy off Amazon work? Absolutely. Miwat, we went with them because I actually sent messages out to the individuals on there to see if they would respond, and I got responses directly back from that seller almost instantly, which is the same place that you would send a message if there was a warranty problem. These lights are warranted for 2 years. If anything goes out on them, they will replace them 100% within the 2 years, as long as you buy them from them and not from a different seller. It has to be bought from the actual seller itself, the Miwat seller. But yeah, so my takeaways is that LED lights is a very cheap alternative to getting these super expensive, all right, aquarium lights. So in the future, what I'm going to do, if I need to buy aquarium lights, I'm actually going to take a piece of wood about this length here, hang it up kind of like I got here with these these pulleys system, and then just screw the lights into the bottom. And I'm going to screw those LED floodlights into the bottom. Now for a tank this big here, I would probably need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'd probably need somewhere between 3 and 4, 2 for each side. All right, this is a 75-gallon tank. For a 40-gallon here, I'd recommend at least 3 10-watt lights. And like I said, you can just take a flat board, something about the size of what you would see on a deck, and just screw in 3 floodlights. 1, 2, and then 3 all the way over there. and that should work just fine. So yeah, LED floodlights, they work for aquarium lights. And if this helped you out a lot, I'll put the link. It will not be an affiliate link, but I'll put a link in the description below to the type of LED lights that we bought that you can use, and the ones that actually work to grow plants in an aquarium. Thanks for coming to NoobAquatics. We hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe and like, and you have a wonderful fishy day.